Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the She Leads Local podcast. My name is Brittany Bishop. I'm the host. And today's episode is proudly sponsored by Crystal Snook Real Estate Group, a locally owned boutique real estate brokerage serving Ocala, Marion County, and the surrounding areas. More than just a real estate company, Crystal Snook Real Estate Group is built on a mission of serving clients and strengthening the community. Inspired by the pineapple, a symbol of hospitality, friendship, and warmth, their team is dedicated to creating exceptional experiences and lasting relationships. To learn more, visit crystalsnookgroup.com. Today's guest is Bridget Lynch, and she has a lot of titles. So I'm going to let her kind of describe what she does and tell us more about her backstory. So, Bridget, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Brittany, I'm so glad to be here.
Aw. But yes, you do a multitude of things. You have a lot of designations. So I'll just kind of let you share more about what you do.
That's great. Thank you so much. And thank you for letting me be here.
Of course.
I do have to do a little plug for Brittany because she did my headshots
Oh.
recently and they're amazing. And I still get compliments on them.
Aw.
And so I just
You
want to
did-
say
yeah.
that.
She's very photogenic.
Thank you. I am an author, a speaker, a coach. I have a very strong faith. I have a trauma and faith-based coaching program. And so I love doing those things. And most important roles that I am is, again, my faith is very important to me. So I put God first.
Mhm.
And then I have a husband. He comes next. And then my children and everything else. And so even though I do a lot of things, Brittany, those are my top roles that I
Yes.
do. Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 boys.
Okay.
Yep.
Boy, mom.
Boy, mom. Love it.
How old are they?
I have an 18-year-old. He just graduated.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if we have time for that conversation.
Okay.
Because that is a season. And then I have a 9-year-old. He's almost 10.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And I usually get wow, that's a big gap.
Uh-huh.
And we can just talk about it.
Sure.
It's because I had a really bad first marriage.
Okay.
And that's in my first book that I wrote.
Oh.
And so I'm just going to leave that on the table because,
Yeah.
you get those questions like, why? Why is
Sure.
that gap there? And I'm like, well, there are things that happened.
Yeah.
And so
How many books have you written now?
I have my one that I published in September of 24, and I
Okay.
have been working on my second one. Again, life happens. And so I'm working on my second one now.
Yes. What's the book called? The first one?
So the first one is called Out of the Darkness.
Okay.
This next one's called Into the Light.
Oh, perfect.
Mhm.
Okay. So you said you're a trauma and faith coach. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So I have been through trauma myself.
Uh-huh.
And so I know what it's like to overcome fear and abuse and the anxiety that comes along with that. And so through my journey of healing, I've had to do a lot of work
Yeah.
to overcome those things. And it was about 2012. I was a couple years into being a nurse. Yes, I do that too.
Yes, you're an RN.
Yes, I'm an RN. And that was a really hard time in my life because, as I said, my first marriage was not good. It was abusive. And so I support domestic violence here in town because it's just so important to make sure that women are heard and seen and their voices aren't pushed down. And I felt like that for a very long time.
Wow.
And so to overcome fear is a really hard thing to do, but I know what it takes to get there and how to overcome it, which is why I wanted to be a coach. And I didn't mention this, but I'm also ordained. I'm a biblical counselor. And so,
Okay.
just to add to the list, but I knew how important it was for me to just gain more knowledge in that faith-based component as well. And so I've done many certifications to be a trauma-informed coach. I became a mental health coach a couple of years ago. I got my trauma-informed certification. And then I do, other caveats in that as well. I'm married to a first responder. And so I do work in first responding, elements as well. And, people hear things that I do and they're like, how do you do all that? And I'm gonna tell you it's because I trust in God and I pray a lot. That is how I get through the things that I get through, Brittany. So
Oh my gosh.
mhm.
Wow. So you're married to a first responder. So that in itself, I mean, you're married to someone who sees firsthand a lot of trauma.
Yes.
Do you help other first responder wives? Are those some of the people you talk to?
It's kind of a natural
Yeah.
occurrence. I connect with them.
Right.
I recently, you had Meg, so I can talk about
Yes. Meg of Shine On Fitness.
Love her.
Yes.
So we've been friends for a couple years now, and just attending the gym, the great women's gym that it is. You meet those connections, and I met a nurse.
Okay.
And she's married to a prior first responder, and those connections just happen.
Yeah.
And so to be able to bounce those things off of one another and say, oh yeah, me too. I've been through that. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
And so those naturally occurring authentic connections that happen are just so important to me. And that's one of my biggest strengths is I'm a connector. I love connecting people,
Same.
Connecting to people, and then giving them resources, connecting them to what they need. And so that's something that I just truly enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. We love Shine On Fitness.
Yes, we do.
Wow. Okay. So as far as the trauma designation you have, did you have to go to schooling for that, or how did you become a coach?
Sure. So I got a certification and I searched it myself.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I'm going to start with this one. But because I am a high functioning, high level person, that wasn't good enough for me. And so I searched for something else.
Okay.
And so I found another coaching program through AACC is the acronym. If you want more information about that, we can share about that. But I went through that counseling entity and they just provide so much training. I mean, it really was like online college coursework.
Yeah.
And it was really, really fascinating, great to learn it. And I just felt better about acquiring that mental health coaching certification. And then they said, hey, now that you're a mental health coach, you want to be a trauma informed coach? Of course I do.
Yeah.
And so I
why
signed
not?
up for the next one.
Okay. Yeah.
And I am a huge proponent of lifelong learning. Like you just should constantly be looking to learn more and more. And so that put me into another coaching program. And I recently acquired my bachelor's in ministry, and I'm working on my master's in business and ministry.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow. Do you sleep?
Sometimes. No, actually, I sleep really well, to be
Yeah?
honest. I really do.
I guess you have older kids that don't, you're not in the little ones waking you up at night season, I guess.
Well, I started nursing school when my son was 6 months old.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, what kind of women, is it just women that you coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Is it one-on-one coaching or is it groups?
So I've done one-on-one and I will totally do that. It's not a problem. I meet with women one-on-one on a regular basis, but I have a group coaching community online.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's awesome. I like group coaching. People in there can just kind of feed off each other and
Yes.
help each other. And it's, like you said, a community.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
they don't feel like they're alone.
Right.
They're like, oh, you're dealing with this too? Wow, I
Yeah.
thought it was just me.
Yes. Yes. Awesome. So are you still practicing nursing?
I am not.
Okay.
I will always and forever be a nurse and keep my
Yeah.
license. I worked really
Yes.
hard for it.
Yeah.
However, I just know that the path that God has me on right now does not include that right now.
Yeah.
I have looked at going back into nursing.
Uh,
And every time I, think about applying or go to an interview and I'm like, no, that's just not for me.
yeah.
And it's because of the season that I'm in right now. I'm pursuing other alternatives and, it's just a good path for me right now. I want to do things like this. I want to be home with my youngest son. For the summer, if I'm working as a nurse, I can't do that. And my husband's a first responder, like I said, and his schedule is crazy.
Yeah.
And so being able to work around some of those things, are there nursing jobs that I could do to work around it? Sure, I've done it, but that's just not the avenue that I'm going down right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that, I mean, you have that. So you have all that knowledge. It sounds like you have, kind of a broad knowledge of like physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And you've done all of the learning for that to coach people. So it's not just coming from, your own story, experience, opinions. It's you've done the work, the studying, and
it's a really good point that you brought up because it is a solid foundation.
Yeah.
Like the things that I learned in nursing school, to be able to do a head to toe assessment, as they referred to it, to see people's body language and recognize, no, there's something underneath that. There's a root issue. There's a reason that you react that way. There's a reason you speak that way. There's a reason that you don't look people in the eyes. Like there's a reason for that. And so I'm able to recognize those things, which is super helpful.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's I think that's a big difference between a lot of coaches, I'm sure, are not RN. So you have that in your back pocket.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, we have a few questions today to learn more about you. So this is a good one. This is one of my favorites. If someone only knew your success story, what part of the journey are they missing?
Goodness, I chuckled when I read that. I was like, that's such a great
How much
question.
time do we have?
Yeah, right. That's exactly it. So they would be missing crying, at night, wondering, what in the world am I doing? I have this nursing degree. Why am I not using it? So many questions that I just sit with, and wonder. And, outside looking in, whenever you get behind the scenes and again, I told Brittany before we came on that I have a podcast. I wasn't going to mention it, but I don't work on it because it's a lot of work, you friends. I love that Brittany's doing this. I love that I get to come and talk with her and I have to do all the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
It's really great. Podcasting is wonderful, but when you're a solopreneur as well as a mom and, wife and all these other hats that I'm glad to do, I'm so grateful to do. But when you have all that going on, you're like, okay, some things just have to be eliminated. We have to move some things off so we can give our best yes to the other things.
Yeah.
Because we can say yes to many things, like I have. But if it's not the best yes, then that needs to go maybe on the back burner for right now. Maybe we don't totally turn it down, but we put that behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And so, people don't see, again, the tears and the lamenting and the, just the sleepless nights and, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, I forgot to write that newsletter and why it gets pushed out 2 days later and not on the Tuesday when you're supposed to. People don't see those things. The hard work that it took for me to overcome my own challenges, for me to get to a place where I can coach other people. People don't see that.
Right.
There was a lot of hard work, a lot of counseling, a lot, and I mean a lot of counseling. And so those are the things that you don't see behind the scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
Goodness. Would you be willing to share a little bit about a few things that did help you get out of that mindset and overcome all the trauma that you had to personally go through?
Yeah, sure. So I mentioned that I support domestic violence, and it's because I was abused in my first marriage. And there were many, many years, and I say that fear gripped my life for over a decade. And I didn't realize that that's what it was. It had other faces.
Sure.
There were facades, right? And so I would wonder why I would get anxious during moments, or I would easily, short fuses, right? I would easily react to something.
Mm-hmm.
And again, counseling. And I'm going to tell you, friends, I know that counseling is not available to a lot of people. It's becoming more available, thankfully. But when I was seeking after counseling and I really needed it, I was so grateful that there were people that would do things pro bono for me.
Right.
Because I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was a single mom, had a newborn, was in nursing school. I mean, that's insane. And I was trying to seek help for my mental health things and the trauma that I went through, and had some PTSD because I would wake up at night with nightmares. And, after my now husband and I got together, we've been together 17 years, married 13. And after we got together, I just went through so much because, as I said, his schedule's a little crazy. So every third day he goes to work. So I'm all alone by myself with the kids. Well, first one, and then we had two. And I'm wondering how I'm going to sleep tonight, how I'm going to get up the next morning and function. And so, like I said, I'm a person of faith, so I highly believe in prayer. But I would also journal. I have journals upon journals hiding in drawers of just heartache and things that I went through, and not understanding why my brain couldn't connect, why it couldn't get to the next step, why I couldn't overcome the fear, why it kept coming back in over and over and over again. And I'm going to get a little nerdy on you for a second, because I've studied neuroplasticity and I've looked into paving those neural pathways. A really great book that helped me was The Body Keeps the Score. Really great book. It's Dr. Vanderkolk. He has been studying trauma for decades, longer than I've been alive. And so you read those sources then it makes sense. Oh, that's why I react. That's why I'm still in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. That's why I'm still doing this. And then you start to recognize, and that recognition and acknowledging that that's happening, and then you have the ability and tools to overcome it by what's been given to you, right? There's maybe been a friend along the way that said something to you. There's been a book that you read and you go, oh yeah, I remember that. Let me go back to that. And so there's so much information. Just be careful with what you are searching online, because we have a plethora of it. And just make sure it's a good source that you're learning from, especially when you're combating something so challenging to overcome.
Right.
Yeah.
I've heard that with trauma, the body remembers.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So that is why you have those things that come up and you're like, whoa, hit you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Why am I crying right now? Because our body remembers scents, remembers touches, remembers physically seeing something that will replicate in your mind again. Mm-hmm. There was a period of time, because what happened to me with my ex happened between here and Gainesville. And so there were periods of time where I couldn't drive down certain roads.
Sure.
I couldn't go to certain locations. And so facing that fear and knowing that that wasn't what was going to define me, it wasn't going to identify me, I said, nope, I'm not going to let that happen. And I would continually fight against that fear and say, nope, that's not who I am. I'm going to overcome this. And
sounds much easier said than done.
Absolutely. Yeah. It is a very challenging, it's hard work. It's messy.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those coaches that knows the messy part and will sit in it with you and will go, no, sweetheart, this is not where you're staying. You can get up here. Yeah. It's not where you need to be.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that took a lot of time and a lot of retraining your brain and working on what you talked about, the neuroplasticity, which for those who may not know that word, it's literally rewiring your brain with your thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. Which is nice. It's possible. Mm-hmm. And I guess that book talks a lot about it, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Right. I learned about that in counseling too.
Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing, which is really cool that it is a thing, but
yeah, that old adage that you can't teach an old dog new tricks is not true.
Yeah.
You actually can retrain them.
They're just being stubborn.
That's right. Got to pave those new pathways. Yeah. You can do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Next question. What season of life are you currently in?
Wow. Yeah. I chuckled at that one too. So I mentioned that I have an 18-year-old and he
Mhm.
just graduated. That is a whole nother ball game, my friends.
Yeah.
And when you are parenting an adult child, which the world calls an adult, as a mother, no.
No.
He had his first doctor's appointment by himself yesterday, and that was a whole thing. He's texting me, "Mom, how does it, Mom?"
Yeah.
And so then you realize, oh shoot, I didn't set him up well for that. Okay. So you want to do it right the next time because I have two boys. So, just a lot of that. And, I'm just going to put it out there. There's a lot of talk about perimenopause and how that affects you right now. And that's where I'm at, my
Mhm.
friends. I recently, just over a year ago, had a hysterectomy. That's a whole nother ball game too. You're like, whose body is this? What's happening right now? That is a season.
Right.
Whoa, is it?
You could write a book about that.
Certainly. It'll probably end up in this book I'm reading,
Yeah.
right? So because you can't that's it. When you're writing a book, it's your life experience and what you're going through right now and how you're overcoming it, but also helping the reader, of course, but your story's going to be in there.
Right.
And I wish more people would talk about, and I've said, maybe I should start a support group because
Yeah.
when you're going through all these things yourself as a mom and then as a wife too, and then your kids graduating and they're going to leave. And then the little one's going, when is brother leaving the house? And he's sad. So then you're taking on his emotional things and, and again, first responder wife. And so that's secondary and tertiary trauma,
Right.
vicarious trauma. And so you're going, whoa. And Brittany asked when I sleep. And I really value my sleep, my friends, because that is where the regeneration happens up here. And so
Right.
I'm really, really grateful that I have been able to sleep. I talk to a lot of women that have trouble sleeping during this
Yeah.
season of life. And I'm very grateful that I don't have to take anything and I don't recommend that. Those medications are not great. If you have to do it, I understand, but don't do it for a long time. I just I need that space, that solo time, this season you need that time to pull away and have your solitude time. For me, that's praying and journaling and writing and stuff. That's a solitude thing for me. Getting my toes done occasionally. Okay, let's be real. All right, we got to do those things sometimes. Going to the gym. Oh my goodness. If I didn't have my gym time, Lord help us all. I'm so glad
Yeah.
that I can throw some weights around and it makes me feel better.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that a lot on the last podcast with Meg from the gym. And she was talking about, as women, as mothers, we have to fill our cup.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it's hard in every season. You're dealing with, you're in a very different season than myself, but it all has its challenges, different challenges. So yeah, what would you recommend to people who just, they don't feel like they have enough to give no matter what they do?
Yeah, you said it. We have to fill our cups.
Yeah.
We can't pour from an empty cup. And we're not good to anybody when our cup is empty,
Yeah.
not even to ourselves.
Right.
And so we have to be very intentional. I coach my ladies all the time about this. We have to be intentional about blocking off that time.
Right. And
And
it's not
keeping it that
it's
way.
not selfish.
Correct. It is not selfish to take care of yourself so that you can pour out to others.
Yeah.
It's not. It can be looked at that way. I don't know why that stigma is there, why that persona is there, but it's just not. If you can't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of you? No one's going to do that.
Right.
You have to help yourself so you can help others.
Yeah.
And, I had to learn that and how to do that because I had a hard time expressing my needs. In a counseling session not long ago, about a year ago or so ago, my counselor looked at me and she said, Bridget, what do you need right now? And I was like, what?
What?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I have no idea what I need. Now I have no problem telling my husband what I need and getting away and doing what I need to do. Because I'm going to tell you, even when we take vacations, and I heard this, I don't know if it was a podcast or what it was, but I heard this and I laughed so hard. A vacation is when it's like just you or you and your husband or your significant other. A trip is what you take with your children.
Right.
It's a trip,
Yeah.
not a vacation.
Parenting in another location. Yeah.
Correct. We celebrated our son. He wanted to go on a cruise. And so we celebrated him the end of May. We went on a week-long cruise. And that was another story in and of itself because it was just an oddball cruise. We've been cruising since 2010. And this was just such a weird cruise. But anyway, there were pockets of time where we had a good time. But I came off that cruise just exhausted. And I was like, this is not right. Something is wrong.
Yeah.
And so I literally had one of those just meltdown moments where like sob crying on the Sunday after we got off the ship on a Saturday, by the Sunday morning, I was like, to my husband, like little bit of a basket case. And he was like, whoa. But being able to, exit the room or separate myself, close off the bedroom and just be like, listen, this is where I'm at. This is what's going on. I need this and this and this right now. And I'm grateful my husband is very receptive to a lot of things that I say.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's perfect, my friends, okay? Like we argue, there's moments, but we know how to get back to that place where we're good. And so that's important too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is a similar question. What's something you're navigating that most people don't see?
Doubt. People don't see the doubt. People don't see the doubt of the direction that I'm going. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Wait. People go, you're so good at so many things. Okay, yeah. But there's doubt, and I have to take that and journal and pray and read and study and go, nope, you're where you're supposed to be. Nope, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Again, I've told you, I've gone back into looking at nursing jobs, scrolling. Oh, which job should I pick now? No, that's not the direction right now. Could I go back to it one day? Absolutely. We always need nurses, but that is not the direction. And so I have to overcome that doubt.
Yeah.
And know that I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
So the next question is, what was a time that you almost quit? But I guess we need to pick which time and quit what, because you've done so many things. Which one do you want to talk about?
Let's hit on the being a solopreneur and doing
Okay.
this coaching thing. I have wanted to quit.
Yeah.
I have wanted to quit because, the promotion didn't work and no one signed up, because my email list has frozen and no one's signing up, because I don't get discovery calls and, for people to try to book with me. I wanted to quit. I don't want to do social media. I wanted to quit. Wanted to shut it down. Wanted to get rid of it.
I think you're listing things that every single solopreneur has felt.
Yes.
And multiple times.
Yeah. What's the purpose in all of this?
Yeah.
Right. That's when I've wanted to quit.
Yeah.
But I know in the back of my mind, I know and I hear, if you quit now, what if you miss that one person? What if you miss that one that really needs it, that actually is going through abuse or just came out of it, that actually is having a faith crisis, that actually is having a physical crisis, whatever it is. What if I quit? What if I quit?
Yeah.
And so I think about those things because I know that I have a purpose and there's a plan for my life. And I know that giving up is not an option.
Yeah. You have a higher purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you said that you partner a lot with DV shelters here. I feel like, people who are in that situation, yeah, maybe they can't get to a shelter, but maybe they can call you,
Sure.
reach out to you.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't feel connected to, reach into a local, domestic violence shelter or even a hotline, I'm very grateful that I'm where I'm at and that I could be a resource for someone and then point them to, because there is crisis care that needs to be done,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
After those things happen and you're just coming out of it, can I help you? Absolutely. But I also know that that's a partnership with helping you to get significant care and help prior to getting coached to the next step.
Yeah.
And so, don't jump over and say, all right, I'm going to do this. Do people reach out to me as a resource? Absolutely. People say, what do I do for this friend? She's going through this.
Yeah.
And I resources, And so, you can email me, go to my website and email me, info@coachbridgetlynch.com. If you are not sure which direction to take, which step is next, email me. I'd be glad to point you in the right direction. The local organizations that we have here have been really great. Reconnected with them at the end of the month, a couple months ago. And I'm just really glad that I've been able to actually go into the shelter and share my story with the women that are in the shelter. And that is a very important job that I get to do. I'm so grateful that they've, allowed me to do that. You have to be vetted for that. You can't just walk into the shelter. They will not tell you where it's at.
Right.
It's not supposed to be disclosed. And so, to be able to have that opportunity is really, really great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another question. What is a door that's closed that you're now grateful for?
Yeah. So there was a path that I took early. So we went to a specific church for a long time. And I knew that I wanted to do ministry to a certain degree and something. And we went to this church. I even worked for the church for a short period of time. And I was like, all right, I'm going to start the classes. I'm going to do this track. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to become a pastor, all these things. And there were closed doors on that track. And I was like, why is this so hard? Why am I crying all the time? Why this? Why that? And, I would tell you that path, if you're going a certain direction and the peace is not there and the joy is not there, and it just feels like it's a struggle and a strain every step of the way. I'm not saying there's not going to be that, but sometimes that strain and struggle is alert going, hello, Mr. Robinson. I know, really old, but it just sticks in your brain sometimes and comes out. So, like, hello, alert, this might not be the path for me right now. And so we separated ourselves from that. I resigned, separated ourselves from that, went kind of church hopping, if you will, plugged into a couple of places, but just didn't feel right. And then now we are at a local church that we're all thriving, the whole family.
That's great.
And, there was a point where some of us weren't. And I knew that there needed to be a shift, but I didn't know what that looked like. And my husband was like, hey, we got to move. I said, okay. And we did. And then now it's just thriving. Like I'm teaching kids VBS this week, and that's just so fun. Okay. Is it exhausting? Yes. But it is so fun
Aww.
that I get to do that. And I've been able to speak at a baccalaureate service recently. I've been able to encourage, people in many different ways and speak on different stages. And I'm just so grateful to be able to do that. And those doors would not have opened if I would have stayed in that one place and continued on the path that I was.
Wow.
But doors have just been opened. I've spoken South Carolina. I've spoken, different states and different areas down in Tampa at conferences. And so that would not have happened if I would have stayed on the same track I was on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever look back in your journals from then and be like, oh, this is why it wasn't working out?
Yeah, I do that periodically just to remember why. Yes.
Okay, what does balance look like for you right now, if that's even a thing?
Yeah, that's really funny. So there was this time, I had a story. It's really great. There was a time my son wanted to go to the pet store, right? Kids love to look at the pets, right? And we go in the pet store and we're looking at the hamster gerbil, guinea pig area. And I look over on the shelf, and I don't have any of these animals, right? I don't have no desire, right? But I look on this shelf and there is it's a hamster wheel, but it's sideways. And it was like, and I was like, wow, that is a reflection of what life feels like sometimes. A sideways hamster wheel. And I just laughed, and I have used that in scenarios and even in a newsletter, right? That sometimes that's just what life feels like. But to balance, I learned this a long time ago, and I remember it. I put it in the back of my mind. I trust and I surrender, and the balance works itself out. Because I know that I can't do it all in my own power and my own will.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to give that one up because that's not in my control. And I'm going to just control what I can. And there is a really great, I'm sure we could look it up or I can send you a file, Brittany, to post in the show notes, because there is this circle that says what I can control and what I can't control.
Okay.
And it is such a great reference just to look at sometimes, just to look at it and glance at it real quick and go, yeah, that's not in my control. I'm not going to sweat over that. I'm not going to walk around offended because that's not in my control. I'm not going to do it. That's wastes too much energy. I need my energy for a lot of things, and that's not one of them that I'm willing to expend it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good exercise, the a Venn diagram, so you can see,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
because there's so much that's actually not in most things are not in our control.
Correct. Correct.
But we try. We try.
We do.
Too hard. What does success look like in this season of your life, would you say?
I laughed at this one too because recently, I have these moments where it's just, excuse the term, but diarrhea of the mouth to my husband. And he's like, what? And he'll go, whoa, that's a lot to digest. But let me say this to you. And one of the things was, what does success look like for you in this season right now, honey? And I was like, okay. And success, Brittany, for me in this season is being present for my kids and my family. Not having to rush around from a job, 8 to 5, whatever, 9 to 5, whatever it is, wondering how I'm going to get everything done in the morning, how I'm going to get to my kid in the afternoon. Why am I having to pay for childcare when I should be the one with them? All of those things as a mom too, that we think about. And we're going, wait, this isn't working. What does success look like? Success, again, is just not losing my crap when things go wrong. That's successful. That's great. Not being triggered by something that used to trigger me. Not, yelling in a circumstance when I used to yell. That's good. Those are all successful things. It doesn't necessarily have to be a monetary thing. But if you have goals, definitely write them down. Take them step by step. We eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? So break them down. What am I going to do today to get to the thing that I'm going to accomplish this week, to get to the thing that I'm going to accomplish next month, 6 months, a year? What am I going to do to get there? And so celebrating those small steps that will get us to the bigger successes. I didn't get to speaking on stages by being afraid to step on a stage. I had to take small steps to get there. One of those ways that I did it, it's funny that you're like, you want to talk about the podcast? No, I don't. And then here I am talking about the podcast. One of the things that helped me was starting a podcast.
Oh.
I had nothing. And I was like, can I just start with my phone? And I Googled, yes, you can just start with your phone. Okay, I'll start there. And then I got a microphone. And then I got lighting. And then I got software. And then right? It's those small steps that help you get to the thing that makes you comfortable to step into the next bigger thing. That's what success looks like.
Yeah. And obviously, your definition of success probably has looked different for even just you in different seasons, but also for other people. Not everybody is called to be an entrepreneur or work from home or stay home with their kids. Like, there's a lot of different versions of success. And also, some people are, maybe right now they are doing something that they don't want to do, but like they have this goal if they want to change jobs or if they want to be a stay-at-home mom, or if you're a stay-at-home mom that wants to work and feels like they can do so much in the world and be successful both in your career and as a mother. Like there's so many different
Mm-hmm.
pathways. And I think that's important to share that, like, especially as women, there's no one right way.
Right.
And as mothers,
Mm-hmm.
any way you cut it is challenging, no matter how you choose to mother and to work or not. It's
Right.
just, there's so many different ways and it works for different people. And yeah, I think as long as, you feel at peace
Mm-hmm.
with how you're doing it, that's what's most important for yourself, your family, for your nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and one of the things I would add to that too, that's a really all great points, is to give yourself grace in that.
Yeah.
Because we're so tough on ourselves. And again, like you said, as moms, we're like, oh, I should have done it this way, or I should have done this. But, we have to have grace for those moments. We're not going to get it all right all the time. We're just not.
Right.
And, if you see something that you can correct to make better for the next time, great. Celebrate that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And if you get it wrong again, oh, it's okay. Just give yourself grace,
Yeah.
You flipped out when your kid, threw something on the floor again or spilt it. Okay, all right. It happens.
Yeah.
But, teach them how to clean it up, right? If they're little, teach them how to clean it up. And then they can do it the next time. And you're like, all right, I taught them that, right?
Yes. Yes.
I know that's a simple
important.
example, but it really can be that simple. We overcomplicate things a lot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, this is the last question, and it's a good one as well to end on. What is something that women need to stop apologizing for?
Goodness, I have thought about this since I sent it to you. And I was like, the thing that keeps coming up is stop apologizing for being present. Okay. And this is what I mean. We apologize when someone invites us to something and something changes in our schedule and we have to be in that moment. We have to be present in that moment that changed. Don't apologize for that. If something shifted off your plate and something else came in, then that's what needs to happen.
Okay.
I stopped apologizing for things like that. I stopped apologizing for, oh, I didn't get back to you in 3 days. Well, you know what? I've been pretty busy. I'm not going to apologize for that. And busy in a good way. Like if it's, wow, busyness, we could talk a lot about that. If it's a good busy, you're being present with your kids. You're being present with your loved ones, with your family. You're on vacation. Let me tell y'all something. I do not purchase the Wi-Fi package on a cruise.
Good for you.
Don't. I do not.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's more important for me to be present and off my phone and only taking pictures than to be scrolling on something, to be checking an email, to be whatever. We are not designed as humans, we are not designed to be focused on all the things that are coming at us all the time.
Yeah.
I heard this, read a story, whatever it was. There's so many things that I read and learn all the time from my friends, but one of the things, it was a message and a podcast message. And the guy had a friend come over from overseas. He's British himself. And so he had someone come over to visit in America. And he's like, what would you notice that's different about Americans than, overseas? And he's like, that they don't know how to do one thing at a time. They're not present. And that was something that really stuck with me. And I thought, how can I be more present? When I'm sitting at a table with someone, my phone is away. When I am sitting, I don't know, even by myself, I'm like, put the phone away. Our phones are great, right? People communicate with us. We can look things up. It's awesome. But just be present and don't apologize for that. Don't apologize for it. And when we are present, and again, when you get back to someone, don't apologize for taking a week, a month, a year. I don't know. Sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes there's seasons for people to be in your life and out of your life, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's been times I haven't talked to someone in months.
Mm-hmm.
I go, hey, we haven't talked in a while. You doing all right? We just pick right back up. We don't apologize for that.
Yeah.
Life happens. It does. Don't let things go by too long if, some things need to be checked in on. But, take care of yourself. Be present for yourself too. When you're at the gym, put the phone away. Put your music on. You might need it for your workout. Girl, I have so many focuses set on my phone. Focus for this reading time. Focus for work. Focus for family time. I put that do not disturb on, and people will tell you that. Oh yeah, Bridget's always in do not disturb.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I want to be present, and I'm not going to apologize for that.
That's great. That's that's definitely hard for the just the world that we live in right now. But I'm sure that you could talk a lot about just our phone dinging and how that affects us,
Oh my goodness, yes.
how it increases anxiety and
Yes.
but I love that you said don't apologize if you haven't gotten if you haven't responded to an email. Oh my gosh. I once had somebody tell me that like you should respond to an email within 24 hours and I don't I mean, okay, but gosh,
Mm-hmm.
how many emails do you get a day though? Like
Right.
I don't know. I think too as women, something about us we do just maybe innately apologize more than
Mm-hmm.
men.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's sometimes I'll be writing an email, for work and I'll apologize and then I'll like, wait a second, like I'll backspace. Like, I don't need to be saying sorry. I didn't do anything wrong.
Correct.
A man would probably not be writing this,
Right.
and to kind of, yeah, I had to learn that, especially in business.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
Yeah. Don't apologize for being present in your body too.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay that you're here. I tell women that all the time. I'll hear the apology come out of their mouth, and I'm like, why are you apologizing?
Yeah.
You didn't hurt me.
Yeah.
You didn't offend me. You didn't hit me.
That's good.
Why are you apologizing?
Right.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then don't. And it's just something that I automatically do because I had to learn not to do that.
Yeah.
And so I recognize that, of course. My eyes are open to that. And so when I hear that or see that, I'm like, you never have to apologize for that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Right.
Oh, it's
And
a shock to
same-
people,
Or like if you invite someone over to your house, almost every time, if it's a woman, she'll apologize for something about the house. Right?
Yeah.
We just all do it.
Yeah.
Men don't do that.
No.
Honestly, when I go to someone's house and it's not perfectly clean, I feel better.
Yes.
I feel more, better about myself, better about my house, more comfortable.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I think there's a lot to kind of change the narrative about how we think about ourselves as
Yes.
women.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that you call people out on like stop apologizing. You didn't
I
do it.
sure
You didn't
do.
hurt me.
You can ask anybody. I will call you out on it.
Yeah.
My it's not nice, but my husband calls me aggressively nice. I'm like, that's not a good way to say that. I don't like that. Figure out a different way. Because I recognize it and I'm like, I get on his nerves because I'm always coaching or nursing or doing something,
Yeah.
but he gets over it. He married me. That's what I tell him. And so, I just want to call it out because there's so long of my own life that I lived with my voice quiet and I lived lies. And I don't want that for other women. I don't want that for other people, but especially for women.
Yeah.
Your voice does not have to be silenced. You can walk in the boldness that's been given to you and the truth that lies within. And you don't need to apologize for that. You can walk in that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to end.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom and so many things with us today. I think that you've really spoken to a lot of people, a lot of women, not just today, but through everything that you do.
Thank you.
Where can people find you if they want to learn more or want to reach out to you? Where are you at on
Yeah.
the interwebs?
Thank you for asking. So you can go to my website,
Okay.
coachbridgetlynch.com,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can find me on most socials at Coach Bridget Lynch.
Okay.
And I want to offer your listeners a discovery call for free. So
Oh,
go on my
wow.
website,
Thank you.
sign up for it. I would
Okay.
love to talk with anyone, any of the things we discussed or something else.
Sure.
I'm sure I've experienced it or or have read about it. But
Thank you
yes,
so
thank you.
much. All righty. Everybody, please check her out online and yes, book a free discovery call. That is so nice of you to offer. Thank you so
Of course.
much. All righty.
Thank you.